It's 6:43 in the morning. You're awake before your alarm again. Not because you're excited, because your body has memorized this routine. It's been doing it for years. The same commute, the same desk, the same inbox. You tell yourself it's worth it. Good salary, stability, benefits, a career. But somewhere between the ceiling and the alarm, there's a thought you keep pushing down. You're earning more than your parents ever imagined, and somehow you feel more broke than you did at 22. That feeling isn't confusion. It's clarity trying to reach you. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how that happens. Not by accident, not because of bad luck, but because of a system that is quietly, intelligently designed to work against you. This is called the salary trap, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Welcome to Matt Finance.
Let me introduce you to Zara. She's 32 years old, she works in marketing. She makes $90,000 a year, which puts her comfortably above the average income in her country. On every spreadsheet, on every tax return, on every LinkedIn profile, Zara looks successful. She doesn't feel successful. Zara gets paid every 2 weeks. Before taxes, that's roughly $3,461 per paycheck. After taxes, after her pension contribution, after her health insurance premium, she takes home around $2,540. $2,500. Whatever your currency is, the math works the same everywhere. Now here's where the trap begins. Because the moment that money lands in her account, it doesn't wait for her decision. It's already been claimed. Rent, $1,350. That's just over half of her take-home.
Groceries, dining, and the occasional takeout she orders because she's too tired to cook after a 9-hour workday, $420.
Car payment, insurance, fuel, $580. Phone, internet, the 4 subscriptions she signed up for and 3 she forgot about, $130. Utilities, $145. By the time Zara's paycheck has run its course, she has $65 left for 2 weeks.
Now here's the psychological genius of this system, and pay close attention because this is the part nobody talks about. Zara doesn't feel poor. She has a car, she has a flat, she goes out on weekends, she looks successful. And that's exactly the point. The trap doesn't make you feel trapped. It makes you feel like you're living well, while quietly making sure you never actually get ahead. You don't experience scarcity, you experience the illusion of prosperity. Your money comes in as a flood and leaves in 1,000 small drops, and your brain never fully grasps that you're treading water in place. You have a lifestyle, you don't have wealth, and those two things are not the same.
Let's go back to the beginning, because the trap didn't start with Zara's current job. It started with the narrative she was handed at 18. Get a good education. Take on debt if you have to. It's an investment. Get a stable job. Work hard. Climb the ladder. So she did everything right. She graduated, she got a job at $58,000, and then something invisible happened. Her lifestyle automatically expanded to match her income. Economists call it lifestyle inflation. I call it the system's second trap, because it feels like progress. You get your first real salary, and suddenly the apartment you used to share with 2 roommates feels embarrassing. You move into your own place. Your rent doubles. You can afford a car now. Not the used one you drove before, but something newer. The payment is $350 a month, but that's fine. You're earning now. Then a raise, $74,000. So you move to a slightly better neighborhood, $1,500 in rent. A car upgrade, $480 a month. A weekend trip you wouldn't have taken before. New clothes because your old ones don't fit the role. Then Zara hits $90,000, and she's somehow spending every rupee of it. Each raise felt like freedom. Each raise was actually a lock clicking tighter. Because now she cannot afford to leave that job. Her lifestyle requires that salary. She has built a financial structure that only stands as long as the paychecks keep coming. This is what people call golden handcuffs. And the coolest part? The system didn't force her into any of this. It just made every upgrade look like the obvious next step. Human psychology did the rest.
I want to tell you about a pattern I see constantly. Someone gets a $20,000 raise. They feel relieved. They feel rewarded. They feel like they won. And then within 18 months, their financial stress is exactly the same as before. Maybe their rent went up. Maybe they finally dealt with something they'd been postponing, a dental procedure, a home repair, a family expense. Maybe they just quietly upgraded their lifestyle because they felt they deserved it. This isn't a coincidence. This is the system functioning as designed. Your expenses are not fixed. They are elastic.
and they stretch to meet your income almost automatically, unless you consciously stop them. The person earning $40,000 a year and the person earning $400,000 a year often report identical levels of financial anxiety, not because they're both irresponsible, but because the system is calibrated to ensure your required expenses always catch up with your income. When you're living paycheck to paycheck, even a large, comfortable paycheck, you are predictable, controllable, dependent. You can't quit. You can't take risks. You can't say no. You can't start that business, take that chance, make that investment, because every rupee is already spoken for. Your landlord is counting on you. Your car company is counting on you. Your bank is counting on you. Every subscription, every EMI, every fixed expense in your life, they all depend on you showing up to that job. You are a guaranteed revenue stream for everyone except yourself. I want you to stop right now and actually answer this question. If your salary stopped tomorrow, no warning, no severance, just gone, how many months could you realistically survive? Be honest. Don't include loans. Don't include I'd figure something out. Just your actual savings covering your actual monthly expenses. If the answer is less than 3 months, you are not financially secure. You are financially fragile with a comfortable surface. And you are not alone. Across most countries, the majority of working professionals could not sustain their lifestyle for even 60 days without a paycheck.
Think about what that means. You've been working for years, maybe a decade, and you are 1 month, maybe 2, away from a financial crisis at any moment. That is not security. That is a very well-furnished prison, and the salary trap has convinced you to call it success.
So why does this keep happening? Why do smart, hardworking people keep falling into this same pattern generation after generation? Because the trap is not accidental. It's psychological, and it's brilliant. It works by making forward motion look like upward motion. A nicer car feels like progress. A bigger apartment feels like achievement. Better clothes, a fancier restaurant, a weekend getaway, they all feel like evidence that you're doing well. But progress and spending are not the same thing. You've been trained, not by anyone sinister, but by the entire structure of modern consumer society to measure your financial success by what you consume, not what you own. By your lifestyle, not your assets. By how things look, not how free you actually are. And as long as you measure wealth in lifestyle, the system wins. Because the moment you earn more, there's always a lifestyle upgrade waiting to absorb it. Here's a distinction that could genuinely change how you think about money. Income is not wealth. A $150,000 salary is income. It is temporary. It requires you to keep showing up. The moment you stop, it stops. Wealth is what remains when you stop working. It is assets, savings, investments, things that generate value independent of your time. The salary trap keeps you so focused on maximizing income that you never build the other thing, the thing that actually sets you free. Here's the real measure of financial health. Not how much you earn, but how long you could survive comfortably without earning. That number is called your financial runway, and most people's runway is dangerously short, even when their salary looks impressive.
Let me show you how the entire machine is designed. You're told to get an education. Often you go into debt for it. That debt requires a job to repay, so you enter the job market already obligated. You get a salary. It's enough to live on, but not enough to get ahead, especially once your lifestyle inflates to match it. The taxes come first, automatically. Then the fixed expenses, rent, loan repayments, insurance. What's left over feels like your money, but by the time you spend it on the basics of living, there's almost nothing remaining. And here's the most elegant part of the system. It never feels like a trap. It feels like a normal life, because everyone around you is living the exact same way. Your colleagues, your friends, your relatives, almost everyone is inside the same machine, which makes it invisible, which makes it feel inevitable, which makes it feel like this is just how life works. It isn't.
It is how the system works, and there is a difference. Now, here's what actually changes things. And I want to be clear, this is not about quitting your job tomorrow. It's not about extreme minimalism or dramatic sacrifice. It's about understanding the mechanism so you can start working against it deliberately. Step 1, stop confusing income with wealth. Separate them completely in your mind. Your salary is a tool. It is not the destination. The destination is assets, things you own that don't require your time. Step 2, aggressively protect the gap between what you earn and what you spend. This is the only number that matters. Not your gross income, not your lifestyle, the gap. Even a small gap, consistently redirected, compounds into something significant. Step 3. Redirect that gap into things that grow. Not into a better car, not into a bigger apartment before you need it, into investments, into an emergency fund that actually buys you freedom, into building something. Step 4, and this is the most underrated one, build optionality. The moment you have 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved, something shifts inside you.
You stop being desperate. You can negotiate better. You can walk away from situations that aren't working. You can take calculated risks. You stop being trapped, not because your salary changed, but because your dependency changed.
The goal is not to earn more. The goal is to need the paycheck less. The salary trap is real. It is sophisticated. It is structural, and it is not your fault that you're in it. But it is your responsibility to understand it. The people who break free from this pattern are not unusually talented. They're not born wealthy. They're not lucky. They simply reached a point where they stopped taking the system at face value and started asking different questions. Not how do I earn more, but why does everything I earn disappear? Not how do I get promoted, but how do I stop being dependent on whoever promotes me? The moment you ask those questions genuinely, seriously, everything begins to shift. If this breakdown made something click for you, subscribe to Matt Finance. Every week we break down the psychology of money, the systems that shape your financial life, and the practical ways to work against them. Not theory, not motivation, actual mechanics. New video every week. Each one gets you one step closer to not needing a salary to feel safe. See you in the next one.